Learn to embrace the primitive inside your soul. You can't deny its existence. It's there for a reason. I mean, there's not one soul in this world that isn't a natural born killer. Everybody has the capacity to take a life or save a life. That is the dual nature, not duality, the dual nature of all things physical. Water gives life, but water can take it away. How? You can drown in it. Fire gives life. How? It cooks your food. It keeps you warm. It keeps you safe. It keeps you dry. But it can take your life by getting burned up in it. The same thing with the wind. The wind gives life, but the wind can take it away. How's that? Tornadoes, hurricanes. You see the dual nature of all things physical? Not duality, dual nature. So you have to recognize that you have something inside you that cannot be removed. As much as you are light, you are darkness. As much as you are good, you're evil, because these are just names that they gave you to enforce that duality and polarization mentality. The separatism from source is yourself. So when you get in conscious contact with the fact that your conflict is rising because you're trying to run contrary to the nature of your soul, then you realize that what I'm saying is the absolute truth. Then that's when you become aligned with the nature of God and the frequency of the universe, which is you. So don't try to deny that you're incapable of being negative or angry or taking a life or being vicious or cruel, because you have these elements in you for a reason. You have been given survival instincts for a reason. These are primitive predatory reflexes, impulses, and instincts. Because in the prehistoric times, when humanity was in its infancy, as far as its evolutionary stages of development, you have what I refer to as the first sense of the soul, which is erroneously referred to as the sixth sense, your intuition. This is what allows you to understand that when you know you're alone, but you're being watched, and that hair stands up in the back of your neck, that is your intuition firing off and heightening your awareness and your senses to a point where you are more alive than ever before. That's what keeps you alive. These are all metaphysical energies, by the way. But the primitive is inside all of us, not just human beings, but everything, because everything wants to survive. So it's in there in order to keep that species alive and healthy and procreate and perpetuate their species so they can flourish just like any other species on Earth. So to deny the nature of this element that you carry, you're living a delusional fantasy world. Nobody is incapable of being negative. This is where the conflict arises, because people think I'm only peace. There's no such thing as any being that's only peace. Not God, not Jesus, not any of them. Because after all, angels do carry swords, do they not? And these are not metaphorical swords. That's how they slay the darkness. So you have to really come correct with what actually is going on and just see yourself in a completely different aspect, that you're not incapable of being negative and being a natural born killer and taking life, because you are more than capable of it. You'd be surprised that if a certain situation all of a sudden just hit you, you'd be surprised at what you'd be capable of doing. Because when push comes to shove, you don't use any type of thought. This is when predatory reflexes kick in. This is when your primitive kicks in. Like they call it fight or flight. There's no thought process involved here. This is all instinct you're running on. This is all primitive prehistoric software, caveman software you're running on. That never goes away. Underneath all of the social pleasantries, we're all just running on caveman software, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to recognize it or not. Because you're capable of doing some crazy things if pushed. And also, you can, the dual nature, you can help and heal and love and all of that beautiful stuff, but you can also do the other, because your energy can be used as a creative power or a destructive force. It's all dependent upon how you choose to utilize that energy. And that's the way the universe made us. And that's the truth. And it's undeniable.